Hello, everyone. Good morning to you all, or evening, afternoon. Really depends where you are currently located. Thank you for joining this session about the future of online identities. So for today, before I begin, I'd like to start my talk with an exercise. So are you ready? Well, I can't see you, so I assume you all are ready. Look at this picture for a moment. Look at this picture and imagine the skyline. Imagine you are there. Imagine you're walking down this path, and with each step forward you take, the skyscrapers get taller, the lights get brighter, and you begin to hear the ambient sound of a city. Once you reach the city gates, you see your best friend who lives halfway across the real world, waiting for you. This is a whole virtual universe where people come to do all kinds of things like going to a concert, shopping for clothes, or for just to hang out with their friends, all from the comfort of their home, fully immersed in this matrix. This is a vision we've been promised by science fiction for years already. This singular realm of infinite possibility. Think Star Trek's holodeck, Snow Crash's metaverse, or Ready Player One's Oasis. But from time to time, things from science fiction do come true. Think about space travel, video calls, or mobile phones, and much, much more. Those were things that once were only written in the science fiction books. Thanks to the developments of game engines, we're already seeing an industry-wide shift from 2D to 3D. And that is revolutionizing the way we socialize, the way we collaborate, and the way we buy products. Soon, people from different parts of the world will be able to communicate with their friends, family, and colleagues in virtual worlds, just as if they're in the same room together. As technology develops, the lines between our digital and physical world become increasingly blurred. And with this new era beginning to unfold, we're still faced with some unanswered questions in respect to our online identity. But before I talk about this, I'd like to share my opinion about the three big changes I'm currently seeing happening right now. Those are changes in the way we socialize online, the way we collaborate online, the way we buy products. So let's start with the way we socialize. The way we socialize, oops, some of the slides were delayed. The way we socialize is being transformed currently by the gaming industry. The conventional thinking on video games is that they're socially isolating. Gamers, as the stereotype goes, they play alone. They're in their sweatpants, probably living in their parents' basement. But the reality is that there are 2.7 billion gamers across the globe right now. Close to 90% of the teens in the US play video games. Games are becoming the way kids communicate with their friends. Games are the new social media. Kids are spending more time playing and socializing in a game called Roblox than on Facebook, YouTube, and Netflix combined. Just think about it for a moment. Another game called Fortnite, it has similar statistics, and they have even a larger user base. When playing Fortnite, you will realize quite quickly that those kids are not that concerned about the game at all. They seem more preoccupied with catching up and sharing the latest about their day. Those platforms have become the digital hangout places for the new generation. Much like basketball courts and skate parks were for the previous one. Hanging out on a basketball court was never only about the game. I remember spending hours myself on a basketball court with my friends, just talking, socializing. It was always about spending time with my friends and socializing, having some sort of activity to gather around. So today, my 11-year-old niece doesn't meet up with her friends on a basketball court to talk about school, but rather she meets them online. She meets them in a Fortnite server. And also, she has friends worldwide. She has friends in Canada. She has friends in Russia. She has friends in Singapore and many other places. When I was her age, I was very lucky if I managed to make a friend with a kid across my street. Games are connecting people across the world, and they're providing a safe place to hang out and socialize. Games are already changing the way we socialize, and it's happening right now. It's happening today. And it's not only the way we socialize that's being transformed and that's being changed. It's also the way we collaborate. And I think everyone in this audience has experienced this shift, if not before, then definitely during COVID. This is not a very traditional way of doing a conference presentation. This shift that we're seeing right now happening in collaboration from 2D to 3D is taking place in all major industries today in some shape or form. And it is way more personal than any video call or chat can ever be. Meeting someone virtually feels like being in the same room together. And this is something that any other form of virtual communication technology has not been able to provide before. So today, major car manufacturers like Audi and Ford are designing cars collaboratively. Chinese schools are doing virtual field trips. Product prototypes, houses are built virtually, and even fire departments are doing better preparation for the trainees for battling actual fires. And that's all without putting anyone in the harm's way. So why should you care? Why should you care? One of our partner, HTC, helped a company called Canon Design. Canon Design is an architectural firm, and they helped them to increase project efficiency by 35% with the virtual collaboration platform. That's because they didn't need to do in-person meetings. And in addition to that, they didn't need to build any physical mockups. And that helped them save up to $35,000 per project. Because when you're doing a meeting virtually, like you can see here, you can visualize everything the same way as you can visualize stuff with physical mockups in the real world. But the difference is there, virtually, you can change anything frictionlessly. You can change the colors, you can change the materials, all in a matter of seconds. And there are many similar examples, like I mentioned before. And this is happening right now. It's happening today. The way we collaborate is being transformed. And COVID has accelerated the speed of its adoption. So finally, it's my favorite one. It's the way we buy products. Earlier this year, in April, I was standing skin to skin with 12.3 million people. We were dancing, we were emoting, we were experiencing something together. We were sharing this experience. But this all happened virtually. This is when Epic Games had hosted its third major virtual concert in 2020, featuring an American rap artist, Travis Scott. Epic's first concert this year held over 10 million fans with Marshmello, all in their virtual embodiments. That is enough people to have covered the population of Sweden, Finland, Iceland combined, plus a few extra tourists. It's 2020, and thousands of performers are hosting bigger concerts than ever before. The lineup on Billboard began to grow in March when artists like Diplo started doing digital set specials. And thousands of digital performances later, major artists like Marshmello are still hosting concerts without sold out seats, thanks to the endless expanse of online hosting. For example, in 2019, when Tomorrowland's festival took place physically, the number of attendees was 400,000. So 400,000 people went to last year's festival. This year, in 2020, the festival was digital. And the number of people that went to the concert was over 1 million people. That's more than twice the audience. And it's not only concerts or business conferences that are being consumed or sold virtually. Fashion industry is also coming along. Online sales have skyrocketed. When brick and mortar stores were closed due to COVID early this year, some fashion companies were better prepared than others. For example, we've seen major brands like H&M adopting digitalization for years already. This is an example. This is H&M's Perfect Fit app, which is basically a virtual dress room experience that allows you to try on clothing the same way you try on clothing in the retail store. Based on a selfie, you can create your digital avatar and you can try on clothing. And that helps to ensure that the customer has the right fit that they're buying. It helps the customer to see how the clothing looks on them, so they don't have to return. We're giving them similar experience that they have in the shop, all done virtually. And this is happening right now today. So we talked about the changes in the way we socialize. We talked about the changes in the way we collaborate. And we also talked about the changes in the way we buy products online. What do they all have in common? Socializing, collaborating, and buying products. First of all, they are all 3D experiences. And in the center of those 3D experiences, it's you. It's your identity. Your identity is 3-dimensional, and it's tied to your avatar. Emerging technologies are not only changing the way we communicate and interact with each other. But they are also changing the concept of our online identities. One thing is clear: avatars are going to be the way we represent ourselves in the future. Avatars are the new form of identity. With the platforms and tools available today, never before we have had this much power to stretch, tear, and mold our identities so easily. We have complete freedom to choose our visual representation. You can be a monster, you can be a car, or you can be yourself. You have all the tools available today to choose your visual representation. And after spending years in this space talking about the very, very same topic, I found that people support two completely different philosophies when it comes to virtual identities. It's either full anonymity or real life identity. Those are two completely opposites. And I believe that given the social nature of virtual worlds, where you can meet people from all over the world and create real life friendships, a critical mass of people want online interactions supported by the authentic identity. Connecting with other people is part of our human nature. Thus, I believe majority of our avatars in the future will be connected with our real world identities. The same way as platforms like Facebook and Google created the real name policy for the web we are all using today. And this is what we at Wolf 3D also focus on by building a technology that allows anyone create a unique 3D avatar of themselves based on a single selfie. Our goal is to provide a persistent identity that travels with you across your virtual world experience. But the problem today is that you cannot hop from Fortnite's virtual concert to a business meeting in HTC's platform. You are stuck where you started. And that is why it's hard to feel truly immersed. Our goal is to provide a persistent identity that allows you to hop from one virtual experience to another. But creating avatars as people is very, very hard. We have been on this journey getting close to now 7 years. It's hard because we as humans analyze other people and their faces daily. Any small mistake you make by digitally creating someone's representation would feel very uncanny. Our journey actually began in 2014. And we started off like this. We started off as a hardware company. This was our first product. It was a full body 3D scanner. It captured everything from your head to your toes. And our initial hypothesis was that people want to have one-to-one version of themselves for virtual worlds, because this captures our real life identities the best. So in order to understand what people really think, we set up the scanner in a shopping mall and we started collecting feedback. So we asked people to go in there, get scanned, and we showed them the avatar. But after a couple of months of doing this, we realized that every other person told us the same thing. They told us, can you take my face and put it on some Superman's body or some other game character? people were self-conscious about their bodies, even the ones that were very fit and good looking. And that is because they wanted to express their imagination. We're still talking about the virtual world where possibilities are endless. So they wanted to have a better version of themselves, but still be recognized by their friends and loved ones. So what did we do? We killed the product and we built another one. We built this. It was an automatic face scanning booth. It worked like a photo booth. You went inside, you selected your desired body model, and we made a very high quality scan of your face. You ended up with a virtual version of yourself as a pirate or some movie character or game character, something like that. We actually managed to build a network of those scanner booths all around the world in different high foot traffic locations like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Vienna, all kind of places in Europe and the States. But eventually we realized that our vision is to make this technology accessible to everyone, billions and billions of people. And building hardware is hard, and this is not the right approach. We just couldn't scale it to everyone's home. It is way too large. But this journey, this part of our journey was very, very important, because creating a network of scanner booths around the world enabled us to collect a massive database of face scans that allowed us to build a deep learning solution we have today. Today, we only need one picture of a person to generate an avatar, and it takes 5 seconds. We can create different kind of looking avatars of people, whether it's cartoony looking or photorealistic, like you saw on the slides earlier. We have different customers from different industries like H&M from fashion, Tencent, Wargaming, many others from the gaming space, Huawei, HTC from enterprise collaboration. And people are using it in kind of different applications for different use cases. So why is it important? Why is it important to talk about this? We talked about those 3 changes. So let's remind here. We talked about the changes in the way we socialize. We talked about the changes in the way we collaborate. And we also talked about the changes in the way we buy products. In all of those experiences, avatar is in the center. It's your identity that's in the center of the experience. And because your identity is becoming 3-dimensional and tied to your avatar, this creates new business opportunities for everyone. I'll give you an example. In the 90s, kids would save up every little dollar they made to buy the newest Air Jordans or Chicago Bulls jerseys. Fast forward to 2020, and kids are spending their cold hard cash on skins in games like Fortnite. Billions of people are living and spending their money through their avatars within those virtual worlds. Last year, a popular game called League of Legends earned $1.5 billion in revenue from selling skins. And another big name, Fortnite, generated a total of $2.4 billion. This is a completely new market, and we call that digital fashion market. And this is expected to reach $50 billion by 2022. Because either you're socializing in a game, or you're spending time in a virtual meeting, or you're going to a virtual concert with your friend, We want to differentiate the same way we buy clothes in real life. And you do that by personalizing your avatar. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a direct opportunity for fashion brands, and they're already all over it. For example, Snap just launched a brand partnership with Ralph Lauren, where users can select apparel from brand's new collection, and they can try different outfits for their outdoors online. Another example is that Fuji teamed up with a developer called Wildlife. Wildlife has a tennis game, and users are allowed to discover exclusive outfits designed by the brand. So there are many different examples like this, but there's also opportunities beyond fashion. We talked about this virtual concert, the Travis Scott concert that I also participated. It is estimated that those concerts sold a total of $10 million worth of digital outfits. Just to put it in a little bit perspective, to compare, Travis Scott usually makes around $500,000 in merchandise sales per arena stop on his tour. So on digital concert, 10 million, physical ones, 500,000. And those are just a couple of examples. There's much more actually. And but actually, I think I should leave some time for the questions as well. So before I end, I'd like to say that I do believe that outdoors are the new identity layer. And this point isn't far off, which is why the industry and the consumers need to have a discussion about how far both individuals and companies can go when it comes to identity, pseudonymity, or how identity is managed across platforms. We are all going to be interacting with more and more digital outdoors online, perhaps sooner than you think. Thank you.